During the last few days, there has been a lot of talk about a Dragon Ball topic. And as you can read in the video title, it's about a controversy, if you can call it that, about the latest video game in the franchise, the globally known Sparking Zero. This video game has broken all existing records, and for having in its sector the anime video games. But the number of players has drastically dropped over the last 2 weeks approximately. And here people have divided into two groups. Haters who fill their mouths saying that the Sparking Zero has been a failure. Fine comedy, if you ask me, and a championship hallucination, claiming that, well, since not so many people play it anymore, it's a failure. And then there's another group that are the actual fans, really, who, yes, are confused and don't know why this has happened. So today, a server is going to explain the reason for this phenomenon and the reason why. While it's obviously a bad sign that players are leaving the video game, it doesn't mean that the title is bad. It has nothing to do with not meeting expectations or not being liked by fans. So let's get to the video. To understand why this has happened with Sparking Zero, we just need to understand how video games and players work. Let's start from the beginning. Video games, as we know, can be played in two ways. If the game allows it, of course, in offline modes. The player against the machine of all time, be it central processing unit, controlled opponents, video game levels, or anything else that is not another real player like you, basically. And the other way is online mode, where you play with other players competitively, cooperatively, in teams, or in the ways the title allows you. The point here, without beating around the bush, is quite evident. Sparking Zero offers us an incredible single-player experience, I dare to say almost unbeatable for a fan of the franchise and especially the Tenkaichi saga. We can't find a single fault in terms of fun, maybe a little on the technical level, but oh well. Really? I don't know anyone who has bought the game, and there have been many, because the game has sold millions and millions, and absolutely all my friends have it, and I don't know a single one. I haven't fully completed the video game's story, including all the character campaigns and alternate scenarios. In that sense, in the experience, for a player it has been a resounding success, and the criticisms in that area were minimal, practically non-existent. The problem comes with the other mode, the online. As you can already imagine, for a game to have a large player base over a long period of time, it must definitely have a great online mode. Because no matter how replayable a title is, or how long it is, or anything else, the number of players who play offline modes will always tend to decrease. As examples, we can have, the games from software. Games like Sekiro, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring are widely considered masterpieces of the video game medium. But these titles do not maintain a high number of active players or a large number of viewers on Twitch consistently, like competitive games such as League of Legends or Fortnite. Belt code in the store. But this is pure and overwhelming logic. When a single-player game comes out, people buy it, play it, burn it, put it in, 100 hours, 150, and when they've gotten all the juice out of it, they put it aside to go to the next one. It's not a bad thing, nor strange, nor anything. It's always been like this, and it even seems a bit strange to me that I have to explain it. The first month it came out, Elden Ring would have hundreds of thousands of players before the new downloadable content came out. That son of a bitch, he nominated Gotti. Surely the numbers would be abysmally lower, and not now, 1, 2, or 3 months after its release. And will you tell me if BLT is right? But the drop with the Sparking has been much more aggressive than usual compared to other games. And you're right, because Sparking is not a role-playing game. It's not an adventure or open-world video game. It's an arena fighting type fighting game, and therefore it depends a lot, did you guess, on its multiplayer? It moved from local to online. No matter how much you like a fighting game, you're going to die of boredom if you're fighting against the central processing unit for 100 straight hours. After the first 20, the machine won't even be able to face you at its highest difficulty. Unless you're a hopeless klutz, of course, then your only option to not die of boredom or disgust is to go online mode. What about Sparking Zero's online mode? I'm glad you asked, my friend, because what doesn't happen with the online mode of Sparking Zero? It's the biggest abomination made by human beings I've ever seen. I don't think it could be any worse. Definitely, let's delve into this issue. Indeed, Bandai Namco has killed Sparking Zero in the most parentless way possible, developing the worst online mode I've almost ever seen in my life. Not even the video games from, 2008 had such a poorly thought out online. It's unbelievable that in 2024 they're still messing up such a crucial mode. Why is it so terrible? Well, if you've played Sparking, you already know, but let's talk about it. First, the matchmaking. The matchmaking doesn't make any sense at all. I remember the early days when the game had thousands upon thousands of players. When searching for a match, I couldn't find anything. It took me about 15 minutes to find an opponent. The game seemed dead, with tens of thousands of players at my rank seeking an online fight. If it matched you, there was no middle ground. It almost always paired you with a guy at a much lower level than you. It wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the biggest plot twist: facing a world-class player who will vape you 7 times before you hit the ground. For some reason, the game sometimes kept pairing you with the same person all the time. Although you had declined a rematch multiple times, I encountered a much better player one day. No matter how much I declined the rematch, as he was kicking my ass, the monster kept coming up. It was a nightmare, and the same thing, in reverse, could happen to me 5 times in a row. The same poor guy who had just bought the game and didn't even know how to dodge. Kai attacks launched from afar like crazy. The online experience was tedious, boring, and frustrating, while the technical aspect was similarly subpar. Bugs that would change your controls in the online? Because madness, poor performance, lag in some games, absurd. Bandai Namco implemented a mechanic that matches your frames per second with your opponent's, but I'm not entirely certain. If your opponent uses the government's computer, it doesn't matter if you have the best gaming setup with the most powerful graphics card and central processing unit. It's going to be so jerky that you're going to want to rip off your penis and chew it like it's a mint gum. The matchmaking is extremely poor, even worse than Call of Duty's. The abysmal and unbearable performance of the servers in online gaming. The satanic, family-less bugs that appeared out of nowhere, among other things, led to the death of online mode and, consequently, the blackout of players. In Sparking Zero, the Tenkaichi were always seen as games to play with your friends one afternoon every now and then. And apparently, the jump to online hasn't suited it so well. But it's not even the video game's fault, but rather the decisions and incompetence of Bandai Namco, who had a treasure in their hands and ruined it by not knowing how to design competent online modes for a fighting arena. I'm not implying that if the online modes were excellent, the game would have kept its initial averages, as that's not feasible. But it is clear that at least the player exodus wouldn't have been so aggressive. In the end, Sparking has had a single-player game flow for a month and a half. People burned it out like crazy, and then it was left as just a little game to occasionally play a casual match. Something that is not bad, no matter how much they want to make it seem so, because the game has already sold millions. It's not a free-to-play online game dependent on the number of active players. Sparking, a full-priced game, includes an online mode, but has already sold all it could. The true measure of the game's popularity will be revealed when the single-player DLCs are released. From there, we can see if people come back to exploit all that content and then leave again, which I believe is the natural thing that is going to happen. But that will also be when we will clear up any doubts. And I believe it because if we go to the Steam page, despite everything, Sparking has very positive reviews, both recent and all the time it has been on sale, with over 36,000 reviews. If people didn't like the game, things wouldn't be like this. I guarantee you, the first thing people do is come to the Steam reviews to whine. You know? In short, everything has indeed been Bandai Namco's fault for being unable to handle Sparking Zero properly. They didn't know how to square or give identity to the game's multiplayer, and that has led to abandonment by the players. People with nothing else to do simply move on to other activities after being offline for dozens of hours. But to say because of this that Sparking has been a failure, or to use it as a weapon, makes no sense and leaves you almost in a worse place. And well, good afternoon to everyone.